Hello and welcome back to Stretchies and Stuff. My name is Jane and today I have a nice 40-minute gentle flow to relieve stress and anxiety for you. So this will be a great way to just try to wash it all out of the body and do some movement, flowing, but also lots of very therapeutic restorative postures. So get into something comfy and please have a blanket with you and your yoga mat. All right. We are going to start lying on our bellies. So please have your blanket folded up so that it can be just underneath your belly, around your pelvic area, and bring yourself all the way down onto the belly. So just walk your legs out and bring your hands underneath your face to make a nice little pillow. So just let your forehead rest on your hands here. Shake out the hips when you first arrive, just wiggle them from side to side. If the knees feel uncomfortable, you can add some extra padding to the knees. And make sure there's a nice amount of space in between your mouth and your nose and the ground, creating some nice length in the back of the neck. And just come into the breath here. Engaging that ujjayi breath so you can close the lips and breathe through the nose, constricting the back of the throat. And just feel the ground supporting you here. Feel the feedback from the ground on your belly as you inhale and fill the belly up with air. And exhale, let it all go. Now scan the body and try to soften everything. Soften the back of the neck, soften the shoulders, soften the belly, soften the thighs. And with your forehead on your hands, try to imagine letting all your thoughts and worries flow through your forehead down into the earth. So imagining kind of opening up a little portal here and letting all your stress sink into the ground for now. We'll come back to it later. If there's anything we need to think about, we're just going to plant it in the earth below us for now and focus on the body for the next little while. Take a few more nice breaths here. Scan the body, soften. And then take that left foot and walk it up beside you. So bring that left knee in line with the hip and bring it up beside you. So we're opening up gently in the left hip here. Try to keep the hips a little bit square by bringing the left hip down, the right hip up. And it's nice to keep that left knee on the blanket. If you're on a carpeted floor, it should be good. But if you're on a hard floor, make sure there's something soft underneath that inner knee. Nice, gentle, restorative hip opener here. And bring that left leg back down to meet the right. Shake the hips from side to side. And come on to the other side. Bring that right hip up in line. So the thigh is going out perpendicular from the right hip. Nice padding under the right knee. And just a really nice passive stretch here into the inner thigh. Waking up the hips. Breathing into the belly, pouring thoughts and worries into the ground, and being in the body. Okay, bring that right knee back down to meet the left. Shake out both hips. And bring your hands down so that the palms are planted on the ground, fingertips just underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes, make sure the knees are still on the blanket, and push yourself gently up and back into child's pose. Forehead can be resting onto the blanket here. Open up through the back body. Breathing into the lower back. Try to push those hips back towards the heels. You can activate the arms here a little bit to really try to get deeper in this child's pose. So hips are coming towards the heels, and then release any action from the hands. Let the shoulders soften. And gently curl yourself up into hands and knees. Tuck the toes under, and this time walk the hands farther forward. Keep the hips on top of the knees and walk yourself down. Finding puppy dog pose here. So opening up through the chest, let the head fall in between the arms and point the tailbone up towards the sky, opening up through the armpits, through the chest. Breathe into the belly, side body, back body. And bring yourself back up to hands and knees. Take a few intuitive movements here in hands and knees. So making a C shape with the spine, looking back, maybe some barrel rolls. Just close your eyes and breathe here. If your anxiety or stress lives somewhere in the body, try to send your breath there. So for many of us, it's in the chest. Some people in the shoulders. So just take some time here to send some love to that area and wash it with your breath. Just no judgment. And once you've finished your last cycle of breath, just come straight to hands and knees, tuck the toes, and lift the hips up and back. Find your downward facing dog. So really press into the hands, nice micro bend in the elbows, the eyes of the elbows face forward, the head is relaxed. And as we start here, have a nice deep bend in the knees and really point the tailbone up towards the sky and let the heels sink down to the earth. 3 breaths here. And see if you can stay in stillness. Once we've got ourselves all nice and set up in downward facing dog, breathe with the stillness. So stay with any discomfort and breathe through it. An amazing lesson to bring with us off the mat. And now look forward towards the hands. Tiptoe the feet forward. Careful not to slip on your blanket. We'll move that out of the way in just a second. And find yourself in your forward fold here. So hold on to opposite elbows. Nice ragdoll forward fold this time. And you can sway from side to side. Let the head release. And now let the hands release down onto the ground. Bring your hands to your hips, zip up through the core, and bring yourself all the way up to standing. You can just bring that blanket off to the side for now. And come to the top of your mat, standing in mountain pose. You can have your feet about hips distance apart just to feel really sturdy and grounded here. And feel your feet rooting into the ground, and tuck the tailbone under and really try to get grounded here in this standing position. So feel strong like a mountain.
Nice, really rooting through the lower part of the body and lifting up through the upper part of the body. So shine the heart up towards the sky. Nice proud chest, open spine. Nice proud chest and open heart. And inhale to reach the arms up overhead, look up. Exhale, bend the knees, tip forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, coming straight into downward facing dog. From this downward facing dog, come forward into plank, lower the knees, and then lower the chest and chin. Slither yourself forward onto your belly, gently pressing into the hands and really pressing into the tops of the feet. Lift yourself up into a baby cobra. So the back of the neck is long. Inhale once more here. Exhale, come down. This time bring your fingertips a little farther back underneath the shoulders. Circle the shoulders onto the back. Come up a little bit more here. Exhale, come down. One more time, really hug the elbows in towards the rib cage as you peel yourself up. Look forward. Exhale, lower. Come through hands and knees. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. Let the head go. And inhale, come forward, find that plank once again. Lower the knees again, tilt the hips up and come all the way down onto the belly. Slither yourself forward. Inhale, come up, find your back bend. Exhale, come down. Press through hands and knees, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Warming up the body, coming into some nice movement. Inhale, look forward. And at the bottom of the exhale, step yourself into your fold. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. And exhale to fold. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead. And exhale. Find that strong mountain pose. Bring the hands down by your sides. Feel the stability in your lower body. Tuck the tailbone under. Bring the shoulders onto the back. And breathe here. Moving through again. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, wash it away as you fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale, lower the knees and lower the upper body. Plant the tops of the feet into the ground and peel the upper body up into your cobra. Exhale, come down. Coming through hands and knees, lift the hips, come into downward facing dog. And from downward dog, look forward towards the hands. Take as many steps as you need to find your forward fold. Let the head go, shake it out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead. And exhale. Find your mountain pose. Take a few breaths in mountain pose to scan the body. So we've started moving here. We're taking action if we were feeling anxious or nervous. So just notice if you feel empowered, if you feel some energy moving, anything improving. No judgment on what you're feeling. Just taking some moments to check in. And moving through. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, plant the hands on the shins, look forward, halfway lift. And exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. From downward dog, inhale to reach the right leg up, and exhale, bring the right foot halfway between the left foot and the hands. Come onto the outer edge of the left foot and bring your weight into the left hand. Inhale to reach that right arm up, and if you are having wrist or hand issues, please feel free to come onto that left forearm. If not, breathe here, really push the hips up towards the sky, opening up through the outer hips. Reach up, maybe bring that right arm up overhead with the palm facing down, and then reach towards the back foot and bring the left hip down onto the ground. So find yourself a nice comfortable position here. Maybe walk that front hand a little bit farther forward. And let the left shoulder kind of creep up towards the ear. So we normally don't like to do this, but here this is going to create some space in the left side body. And then press into that left hand and press into the left outer foot to reach the hips back up overhead. Reach up, maybe look down if it's better for the neck. And cartwheel your hands forward. Step those right toes forward, left toes forward, and come all the way back. Downward facing dog. Bend the knees a lot in downward dog. Point the hips up towards the sky. And tiptoe yourself all the way forward into a fold. Let the head go. Bring the hands to the hips. Zip up through the core and come all the way back up to standing. Shoulders come up, back, and down. Hands by the sides. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Right away from this down dog, inhale, lift the left leg, and exhale, bring the left foot halfway in between the left hand and the right foot on the outer edge of the mat. Coming onto that outer edge of the right foot, bring yourself into this supported high plank, but also really nice hip stretch. Really push the hips up towards the sky. Reach that left hand up overhead. And exhale, bring the left arm over the left ear, pointing down. And you have the option to look down or up, depending on how the neck feels. And circle that left arm back towards the back wall. And then bring the hips all the way down. Maybe you want to walk that right hand a little farther forward here. And let that right shoulder sink up to get that nice stretch in the right side body. And take a few breaths here. And then press into the right hand, the right outer foot to push yourself back up. And exhale, plant the hands, pivot both feet, and step back into downward facing dog. From this down dog, lower the knees, walk the hands forward, and find that puppy dog. So we're really engaged in the hands and the arms here in this puppy dog pose. Letting the chest fall between the arms. And bend the elbows, bring the forearms onto the ground and slither yourself all the way forward into a Sphinx pose. Plant the tops of the feet down onto the ground, circle the shoulders onto the back, and we're not cranking the head back here. We're just looking forward so that we can imagine the back of our neck nice and long. And then tuck the tailbone under to really push the pelvis into the ground. And imagine you're dragging those elbows back in towards the body. And bring that upper body down, bring the elbows out, and the forehead comes onto the ground. Just rock the hips from side to side. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, push yourself up, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the right leg up, and exhale, curl the right knee in and step yourself forward, getting yourself into a lunge any way you need to. So take your time to get here, and then pivot the left foot down. So we're on about a 45-degree angle with the left foot, and the right heel is intersecting with the left arch. Cartwheel the arms up and find warrior two. So nice deep bend in the front knee, shoulders come up and back, and open the palms out, the hands out. And look over that right fingertip, middle finger, and breathe here. Finding strength, breathing with the discomfort. Bring that right palm to face up. Walk those left fingertips down the back thigh. Try to keep the chest nice and proud as you come into exalted warrior, reaching back, opening through the side body. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Step back, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, point the hips up towards the sky, and right away, inhale, lift that left leg up. And exhale, bring it forward. Step the left foot forward, pivot on the right, cartwheel the arms up, make sure we have that heel to arch alignment, and then bring the upper body upright and sink a little bit deeper into the front leg. Try to circle the back hip forward and bring the arms out into a T. Have a nice little gaze over those left fingers. And breathe here, finding your strength. Noticing if we have gone inward and staying there. Staying focused on the body and the breath. Trickle the right fingers down the back leg. Keep the heart nice and open as you reach back. And cartwheel the hands forward. Plant the hands, step back, downward dog, and right away lower the knees and slither yourself all the way forward onto your belly once again. And from the belly, plant the hands onto the ground and bring the hands under the head. And now push that right forearm into the ground and come up. Bend the left leg and just reach back for that left outer ankle. And we're just finding a nice quad stretch here. So nothing too crazy. We're just looking forward. Try to keep the shoulders forward. Push into that right top of the foot. Push the pelvis down and stretch here. If this feels good and you want to go farther, you can bring the forehead back down onto the ground. To go deeper, imagine pushing the top of that left knee into the ground and push that pelvis a little bit deeper into the floor. Breathing into the belly. If you're down, come up slightly so that when you release, we don't slingshot that foot back, and gently bring the left foot back down to the ground. Bring the forehead onto the hands and shake out the hips. Coming onto the other side. So push yourself up so you're in that almost baby cobra, and come onto the left elbow forearm. Bend the right leg and just reach back. It might feel really far away, and this is always an option that you could grab a strap for this, or you might need to come up to get the ankle and then bring yourself back and focus on keeping those shoulders facing forward. And really push into the top of the left foot. And try to keep that right shoulder facing forward as you face forward, and maybe slowly bring the upper body back down. Push that right thigh into the earth. So gently guide the heel to the hip. Nice breathing. Gently push yourself up so that you're not slingshotting, and release that right leg down onto the ground. Shake out the hips. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Push yourself up and back. Quick child's pose. And from this child's pose, come onto hands and knees. And if you need it, grab that blanket again. We are going to come into a nice seated hip opener from hands and knees. So this is Gomukhasana, cow face pose. So from hands and knees, zip up, so tuck the tailbone so that you can bring that right knee in, and see if you can just cross the right knee over the left. Open the legs out to the sides, so your feet are opening nice and wide out to the sides. Maybe have a look. And then we're going to gently walk ourselves back to seated. So this is a great way to come into this pose. You want to be on your blanket. And this is a wonderful hip opener. You might end up with a huge space in between your knees. The goal is to get your knees stacking on top of each other one day, or maybe never, maybe just something to think about. But I want you to feel a nice stretch in both outer hips. If the lower leg is feeling uncomfortable, that lower leg can be straightened. What's important is that the right toes are flexed back towards the right knees. And if the left foot is bent and stacking, the left toes are also flexed. So we'll just sit here for a few breaths, see what's going on. What do you feel in your hips? Is the jaw responding by tightening up? Are the knuckles clenched? Is the brow furrowed? And can we release any of this? Bring your left arm up overhead and bend the left elbow and just touch the nape of the neck with the left hand. Bring the right fingertips to the top of the elbow and just guide that elbow down with the hand and in. So bringing it in towards the ear and down. Stretching out through the triceps, and I always have to remind myself to keep the rib cage knit in. So knitting the lower ribs in. Option, if you have the mobility in your shoulder, to reach back with the right hand, either reaching to clasp the left fingers or just reaching for the shirt and holding there any amount. A few breaths here in this really nice heart opener, hip opener. Gently release the bind in the arms. Bring the hands down and tiptoe the fingers forward as you bend yourself slightly forward with a flat back just for a moment, gazing at the floor in front of you. And then bring yourself back. Bring the left hand on the ground and just twist yourself back into your hands and knees. Think about it. Give it a shot. And find yourself in hands and knees facing the other direction. Make some nice big circles with the hips. Like you're painting a circle on the wall behind you with your tailbone. And switch directions. And then curl the back so that you can bring that left foot in and cross the left knee over the right. And now we're finding that cow face pose as we sit back on the other side. Get yourself onto your blanket. And again, any variation here, maybe having that bottom leg straight, toes definitely flexed back towards the knee. And maybe there's a lot of space in between your knees. For me, this side, there's more space than on the other. We're not necessarily perfectly symmetrical beings. So just sit here for a few moments, breathe into the sensation and see what you can let go of. Let go of any tension in the jaw, the brow, the shoulders. And then bring that right hand up, palm touches the nape of the neck, and you might feel a stretch just by doing this. And if the right elbow is reaching out towards the right side, try to bring that elbow in, that forearm and bicep in closer to the ear. And then place the weight of the left hand on the right elbow. If you have the mobility, come into the bind, reaching for those fingers with the left hand, or just reaching for a bit of material on the shirt. Gently release the bind, release the arms down. Gaze forward, walk yourself forward with a flat back, just gazing at the ground in front of you, deepening that stretch. And gently pull yourself up. Lean back this time and just release the legs. Scooch the bum forward so that you're on your blanket and roll yourself all the way down onto the ground. Keep the knees bent with the feet flat on the ground and bring the shoulder blades onto the back. Press the feet into the ground and make sure you can touch the backs of your heels with your hands. And we're coming into a bridge pose. So curl the tailbone under and lift the hips up. Really bring the shoulders onto the back and interlace the hands behind the back if it feels good. Push the hands into the ground and really push the hips up towards the sky. Can you push into your feet a little bit more? And breathe into the heart. Breathing into any areas of tension here. One more nice cycle of breath. This is our only bridge, so enjoy it. And gently roll the spine down and flat on the ground. Bring the feet as wide as the mat and windshield wipe the knees from side to side. When you land on the right side, leave the knees there. So let the knees be windshield wiped over to the right side. Bring the arms into a cactus pose and let the gaze go over the left shoulder. If you want a deeper opening in your hips in this twist, you can always bring that right foot onto the outer edge of the left knee to guide that left knee down towards the ground and open up a little bit more. Washing away any tingling feelings in the body, in the heart, sensations of worry or stress just melt away here. Gently release that foot. Bring the head back to center, bring the knees back to center, and just bring the knees over to the left side now. Gaze is over the right shoulder. Soften the jaw. If you want to go deeper, bring that left outer foot onto the right outer leg. Keep those knees safe by flexing the toes back. And breathe into the spine, the hips. Soften the jaw. Release the top foot. Bring the knees back to center. Tuck the tailbone under so that the back is flat on the ground, and bring your knees in towards your chest and give yourself a hug like you really mean it. Like, give your legs a nice big hug, either on the shins or the back of the thighs. And know that you can always give yourself a hug. Whether it's actually hugging your knees into your chest or giving yourself a hug by giving yourself a few moments to breathe if you're feeling stressed, or by doing yoga or journaling when we're feeling anxious and nervous. So as you're hugging yourself here, just think of all of the nice ways that you know how to hug yourself. Gently release the physical hug. We're still doing an energetic hug. And bring the legs out onto the ground. Let the toes flop off to the sides. Palms are open. Bring the chest up and just tuck the shoulder blades onto the back. Bring the chest back down. And find your final resting pose here, Shavasana. And in this Shavasana, try to stay if you can. We won't be too long. So we'll integrate everything that we've just done throughout this practice by lying here in stillness. And just bring the awareness to the toes. See if you can soften the toes. Send a feeling of relaxation all the way from the toes, swirling up the feet, around the ankles, and softening all the way up the backs of the calves and across the shins. Swirling that relaxed energy around the knees and all the way up the thighs, the fronts, the sides, the backs of the thighs. Sending softness into the pelvic area and the torso, all of the internal organs, the digestive system, the liver, the kidneys. Softening, sending relaxation. And coming up and around the rib cage, the chest, the upper back and shoulders. Soften. And bring that softness all the way down both arms, forearms, wrists, and hands. Can you melt them into the ground? And come all the way back up the hands, the arms, into the neck and shoulders again. Softening. Softening energy into the jaw, the temples, the forehead, the entire scalp, and the skull and its contents. Softening. Soften the backs of the eyes. Soften the eyelids. And rest here. Please
pause this video and stay here for as long as you can. Otherwise, we're going to begin to move, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, rock the head from side to side. This brand new, relaxed being. Every inch of your body can stay this way as you mindfully begin to move again. Bring that right arm up overhead and keep the eyes closed if that's comfortable as you roll over to the right side. And gently push yourself up again with the eyes closed and find your seat. Take a moment here. Bring the hands to heart center. Bow the chin towards the chest. And take a moment to thank yourself for doing this. For yourself. Namaste. So I hope you all enjoyed that class. If you like these videos, please subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, send me a message, and please share this video with anybody that you think it could help. Okay, thanks a lot. See you next time.